Alright, hello and welcome to Vader's New Empire. Today we're going to be building the Hyperdrive booster ring for model 7661. I believe that was the model number. I just want to welcome everybody. This is going to be a long video, so grab a bowl of popcorn and some drinks and sit back and watch the show. I don't have the capabilities or really the knowledge of doing these in fast motion like most of the other videos you'll see on YouTube. This is the Jedi Starfighter of the booster ring that we'll be building, as in the previous video of it. Sorry there was no sound. I plan on adding sound to it as soon as I can. I tried to put Star Wars music up on it, but you have to pay them lots of money to get music up on the site. It's a thing with copyright. So this is the Jedi Starfighter that we're going to do the booster ring for. Legos. I'm glad y'all are here. If you're not here, I mean, the people that are here generally probably love Legos like I do. It's a hobby of mine I've had for quite a few years. Excuse me if I bend over and get in front of the camera a few times because, well, it takes a lot of Legos and I have very little space to spread these out. So I'm going to do my best as I can. All my videos are unscripted. In other words, I don't have any set way I'm doing these. So I'm kind of just shooting from the hip, as they say. I got into Legos when I was a very young age. The very first Lego I think I had was probably the police station. A lot of people might not remember the police station, especially if you're young. I mean, real young. If you're, I'd say, in your 40s, you probably remember it. Not a lot of people remember that one unless they go on eBay or something and look it up for Lego sites. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my love for Legos while I'm building these. So let the time go by. I'm trying to get it so you can see it. I have a very limited range for my webcam, as you might notice. This booster ring takes quite a while to build, and it's a lot of these kind of Legos right here. It's basically just put these in a circle. If you're not careful when you're doing this booster ring here, or any of them, there's actually two of these that get put together and they snap all together. If you're not careful and you skip a step, then it can really mess you up. So I'm going to try to take my time with it and do this correctly. And as you can see, you can follow along in the book with me as I do it. But I love Lego Star Wars. I have two Ferraris, not real Ferraris, but Lego Ferraris that I own. I like the cars. I like the Technic or whatever you want to call it, Lego sets. They are interesting. They can get up there in price though, and I'm on a limited budget as of right now. I do own quite a few sets. A lot of them are rare. They don't make them anymore. They're hard to find. Quite expensive now. Look them up on eBay and other places like that. But they're still fun to build, and I enjoy putting them together as much as possible. I'm trying to keep my building here in view of the camera, but if you can't see it very well, you'll see the progression of it. And hopefully in me talking I don't lose track of where I am in the build, because that's very possible. Like most people, it's kind of hard to do two things at once nowadays, especially concentrate and talk at the same time. That's why my parents always told me don't listen to the radio when I'm doing my homework, which I had to do anyways. It's the only way I could concentrate for some reason. That's why it's kind of odd that I don't have any music going now, only because that's just the way I like doing things with music. Like I said, I got these Legos have got a lot of pieces to it, so I'm gonna be putting just a little bit down at a time. If I have, like I say, I have a limited space here. I am trying my best to give you all the details on camera. So I take it back a bit and put it together. It's just the way it has to work for right now. I plan on getting a larger area for my Lego to be built so you can see it better. Now there's two of these. Now I got to build the same thing again. Sorry about my big hairy hand. I'm like a polar bear with lots of hair on the back of my hand. I tend to ramble too, so bear with my ramblings. I'll try not to talk too much, but it's better than dead air. So there we go. I'm doing these fairly quick because I put this set together for, this is probably going on maybe my fourth or fifth time of building this set. So I tend to know what's going where. I always tell my nephew, Dominic, that when you put these together, make sure they snap together tightly. Because if you don't, well, there ain't nothing worse than a Lego falling apart on you. There we go, there's half of the circle. Unfortunately, my camera is going to be difficult with me on this because you won't be able to see it in its entirety. Well, I'm trying to fit it in. Let's see, there we go. Yeah, you can kind of see it. I'm an amateur videographer now because I'm doing this. Generally, I didn't like to put myself up on video because I tend to ramble too much. But a friend of mine that's helping me with this website has been telling me just go ahead and talk about whatever. So, and that friend of mine, his name is David Boozer. He's one of the reasons I'm online doing what I'm doing. Trying to establish myself as a Lego website, and so far it's fun. I'm not complaining. It's a lot of work though. It's not something you just can put together real quick and then be done with it. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of thought process and a lot of, as long as you have fun with it, everything's fine. If it becomes more like work, then find a way to make it appear to be fun, or make it fun, you know what I'm saying. I don't know how many, well, maybe I should back up and say, I don't know who actually sits on my site and watches things. It could be children, it could be adults. I've noticed here recently there's been anywhere between 4-year-old up to about 30 some year old group of people looking at my site. So no bad language here. You will not find any violence on my website or in my videos. I just don't condone it. Besides, it's a waste of energy in my book. Leave that for the video games or whatever you play, whatever you do. Hopefully you don't do anything like that. I mean, be violent, that is. Oh, I wish I could move the camera so you could see the area where I'm working in. There's the ring. Now, these video series I'm gonna put out soon is I'm gonna try to keep them in order of the reviews I've got on my site, but like I said, I'm working with limited space. Soon I hope to be getting a larger area to do these in, so I can show the whole thing of what's being done. I don't know if I have to get a new camera for that or not, but and my digital camera for some reason keeps dying on me every time I go over a half hour, just because I don't have enough memory in it, I think. But it's not the end of the world, because I still have my little camera here I got for this. And like I said, this video is going to be long, so you might as well get to know me. My name is Chris Budesheim, just in case you look at my name and can't quite figure out how to pronounce it. And just say it without the H and everything will be fine. It's actually a German name. It took me a very long time to even pronounce my own last name. You can probably hear the dog in the background barking. Someone just came over. He's a good watchdog. Barks at everything. Alright, we're getting close to the end of one ring, which as you can see is taking quite a bit of time. 12 minutes. And I've been putting it together pretty quick. Who knows, I might even redo this video again, but that entails me building the Lego set again, and I don't have a lot of room to set these up. Maybe one day. I am outside on the back porch, which I consider my office. It's very peaceful that way, except for the barking dog in the background. Okay, so there's one ring, and the thing is, if you look on this piece of paper 2 times, so I have to go back, flip it back, and then build this ring again. And as you can see, it is a lot of stuff, and it is kind of big. I mean, the model sits in it roughly like this. And I know you can't see it all. I wish I could aim the camera up. Unfortunately, if I do that, I won't be able to see the table. It'll take me a couple minutes to get readjusted again, so I'm not going to do that right away. Okay, that's one ring. Oh, I got to do that again. That's alright, because that's what makes it fun. Eventually, that's what it's going to look like. Just in case, if you look through my site, you'll see that the review for it, and you'll see at least a picture of it. You can go on, there's a few Lego websites you can go on and actually view these. To buy them, it costs a lot of money. Like I said, these sets are discontinued. The ones I have are fairly old. First one I bought of the Lego Star Wars series was the B-Wing fighter, the original B-Wing fighter, and I bought it just because I was kind of bored, and back then there was no PlayStation. Well, I mean, we had, you know, I can't quite exactly remember what game stations were at. I think it was the Nintendo. I think back then. I think it was the big one out at the time. Well, times have changed, and nowadays you got all kinds of stuff out there. But so not having any kind of really hobby other than building plastic models, which I used to do for quite some time. Actually, I love the cars, I love the planes. Father was a big Lego, not Lego, but model builder. He loved building those World War II era planes, and he was really good at it. Tanks, planes. He was Air Force, and so therefore he loved his warplanes. So, like I said, sorry if you can't see everything being done here, but you get the general idea. It's the same thing as the first video. I mean, the first part of the video, first 12 minutes. So you know this is going to take a little bit longer. Well, I am going through it fairly quick, only because you've already seen one of them. So I don't want to bore the audience by doing this twice, but I don't have the ability to redo, like loop the video, you know. I mean, I probably do, but I'm really not that well knowledgeable on video editing, as you can see, because if so, I'd probably have a better camera setup. And like I said, this is more like the guinea pig of, or I should say the test subject of my first time doing a video. I do a lot of other videos. I'm an electrician by trade. I've been doing it for over 20 years. I really like it, but it makes you get you a little sore after a while after doing that. Right now I am 44 years old. I know, 44, and I'm still building Legos. That tells you that you can never get too old at these things. The good thing about Legos, it gives you a chance to work on fine motor skills. It gives you a chance to think, you know. I have built my own models over the years. I actually had a Lego helicopter. Back in the day, there was a TV show back in the 80s called Airwolf, and I loved that show. But anytime it came on, I was glued to that TV. So one day I pulled out my Legos, and back then they didn't have the kind of angled pieces and file pieces that you can find nowadays, and had to modify your own at the time. So I wound up burning holes, or poking holes, or cutting corners off to make it a, you know, kind of like what they have nowadays, but you find a piece, you know, like this piece. We had to make those. Take a hot razor and cut it, the angle off, and that kind of thing. But nowadays they have these pre-made pieces that I wish they had back then. You had to get creative, that's for sure. And I wound up destroying a lot of Legos that way. But it was fun. It was fun nonetheless. It was a good learning process. It gave you ability to become quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Ingenious in what you had to come up with to create what you had to make it work. And I came up with this helicopter off the Airwolf. Was based off the Bell 222 helicopter, That's the one with the landing gear, by the way. Not like the big, I think it's a Chinook, I think they call it, or the Jolly Green Giant helicopter, I think they used to call it back in the day. The one with the two rotors on top that had landing gear as well. But the Bell 222 is like the Ferrari of helicopters with the landing gear. And I love that helicopter, so I decided to build it out of Legos. Now, back then, because we didn't have the ability to, I mean, 80s, we had the VCRs and things like that, but that was if you had a ton of money to get a VCR and be able to record stuff and watch back at the videos and shows, which I didn't do, so it mostly came off memory at the time, or pictures in magazines or whatever I had at the time to look at. Most of it was out of memory, just because I loved the show so much. But I built this helicopter, and this thing must have been 3 foot long. I kid you not, I used every Lego in my box. And back then, I had a limited supply of Legos. But I actually made this thing, and I actually hooked two 6-volt batteries to it to get the rotors to spin. I actually had a working rotor, top and back. They were linked together with rubber bands and string. Nowadays, you get gears and motors and all that to do with. I probably could have done it with gearing, but like I said, I didn't have a lot of Legos at the time. Not a lot of specialty Legos, I should say. So, that being said, I had to make do with what I had. So, this thing would bounce up and down on its landing gear because the two 6-volt batteries that were plugged into it. And the motor for it was, it came from an old 1970s set. It was a police car, actually, or something like that. And I put that motor in, and I put that poor motor through all kinds of torture. Alright. But nonetheless, I had fun building, and there you go. Here's your second ring. As you can see now, I have 2 rings. These take quite a while to build, so you got to be patient. I wish I could show them all. I wish there was a way I could back the camera up. Pretty soon I'll be able to back it up. At least I'm trying to. Like I said, I'm an amateur videographer, so bear with me while I try to scoot around and get the best picture possible. There's your 2 rings. As you can see, there's a lot to them. It's been 23 minutes on the video, it says, so excuse me, it takes some time to put it together. Alright, so take one of the rings, make sure it's facing the right direction. Like I said, I've got all my Legos in cups right now just because I don't have the area to work with, but I am doing the best I can. Alright, basically everywhere there's a hole that sticks up is getting one of these. Really not sure how to classify it. Like I said, I love Legos, but I just don't know exactly what everything's called. I'm not sure if this is I'm gonna call it a 3-long pin, because it's a pin pretty much, and it's got the little collar on it that allows you to stop it when you push it in. So there it goes. I just push it in. I'm gonna be a little off camera with this because Legos, like I said, I've put these things and taken them apart so many times that I'm hoping nothing breaks on me. I have boxes and boxes of Lego stacked to the roof, but my parts box is under about 3 other boxes of Legos up there, and going through to find an exact pin match would be time consuming. I would have to stop the video, and I'm trying not to stop the video. So yeah, the only holes that you don't put it in are going to be that hole right there, because that links into other parts that hold the Jedi fighter into place. So I've had a lot of caffeine today, so if you see me shake a little bit, that's what it is. And that also, I'm a little nervous being on a video. Just don't video of myself very well. Alright, that's one of them with the pins in it, as you can see. And we take these. Okay, here's another. Well, for 8 of these, I think I've got a total of 16 of them. There are these right here. I don't know what to call them, flat 6s with holes or flat 7s with holes. I'm really not exactly sure of the actual name. They have names for them, but they're very strange names. They got mostly diameter sizes and catalog numbers more than anything else. I've heard them called a bunch of different things, and everybody's got their own names for them, so that's what I'm going to call them, a flat 7 with holes, or flat rounded 7 with holes. A lot of people know them as beams. I guess Lego categorizes it as a beam. And I'm going off this pretty much off memory. Plus, if I look at something, I can generally go over it pretty quick, just because of the nature of what I do in my own industry. Either I can look at something and reproduce it fairly quick. Sometimes I gotta think about it, though. You can't just rush things real fast. Alright, so there it is. There's the flat 7s, rounds, whatever, over top of the pins. We gotta do the same thing, but we gotta do it on the other pieces here. But let me get back to the man who is helping me with my website. His name is David Boozer. I met him online almost a year ago. November will be a year. I don't know if he remembers exactly when he met me or when I met him. I was actually looking to make money online, and I wasn't sure how to do it. I mean, if you ever go looking for it, learn it the right way. Don't give your money up to all those people that say they can make you a ton of money online without any work, because everybody knows the only way you're gonna make money is hard work. Whether it's fun or whatnot, it still takes work. So that's what that part looks like. But yeah, as far as David, I consider him a great mentor, and he makes learning fun, and that is what it should be, fun. Alright, now this second ring goes down on top. Now this is a kind of a iffy part, because everything's got to fit together, and you don't want to break the pins. You just don't want to, because the pins at the end of them have a split, so they'll, so you can close them, and they open up after they go through the hole to lock everything in spot. So you don't want to break a pin. So take your time, but like I said, if you've been building for a long time, you know how to do them so they don't break. I mean, I've had Legos break on me left and right before, just because I wasn't watching what I was doing. And here we go. Make sure everything snaps together tight. Make sure you don't have any pieces that are falling apart. After you go through and snap things together, make sure everything's tight. Go through and make sure all your Legos are tight against each other. Open up the ones that need to be opened, because eventually, you guessed it, more Lego are going on that. And always try to keep everything uniform. So if like, I wish I could explain it better. There we go. There's the combined rings. As you can see, it's quite a work in progress. Let's see if I can spin this so you can see it better. Now we're cruising up on half hour. Half hour to build that ring is pretty quick. Usually I'm taking my time. I'm making sure everything's right, but like I said, I've built this so many times that I already know what to do. Alright, so you see it. There's the ring for that. Now, most Lego manuals will make sure you got it right. So if they have a little thing like this down here, let me see if I can get that on camera. Make sure those are right, because if you don't, you're gonna wind up having to take apart your set and making sure it's right. So as you can see, mine are right. At least, let's see if I can aim it towards the camera better. It's like that on one side, and it's like that on the other side. So you need to make sure those are right, especially with this one, because there's a lot of other pieces that go in these pieces that hold everything together. Sorry for the blank, that's my cell phone. It's either an email or a text, and most likely it's a text. I won't get too many emails. And there's the dog barking in the background. Okay, here comes the part that, oh, how can I say, little parts when you got big hands can be difficult. Alright, so I'm going to just go through and I'm going to do what's supposed to happen with these. As you can see, all these little, let's see if I can get it in camera, these little things, I'm going to just call them a stud. I guess we'll just call them studs. I can't even get it seen here. There we go. This little stud goes in each of these holes all around the ring. So and I don't want to break them, so because they are an important part, as that's how most of the other Lego flat pieces get stuck around the model. The actual, I guess you could say, skin of the ring is all of these. So I'm sorry I'm a little off camera on this. Like I said, I don't want to drop any pieces, and they're just, I'll make sure it's right. Besides, you get the hint of what I'm doing here as soon as I show you. But yeah, as far as my mentor online, he's teaching me the right way to do it. Fortunately, he says I'm on my own for the video part. But that's alright, because I make videos of when I'm at work. I've been large conduit with machines, which is quite fun, dangerous at the same time, but fun. very rewarding when you can bend a piece of metal and make it fit in a certain spot. Now I'll show you what I got so far. You can see all the little studs in there, and as you can tell, it takes some while to get in all the way around the model. Like here, it's not too time consuming, but you know, if I don't get one in right, it's gonna spring off into nowhere land here on the back porch. And I really need these. I'm wearing blue jeans, so blue stud landing on blue jeans, that's one of those parts that you're gonna have a hard time finding. So bear with me as I get the rest of these studs in. I would sing a song, but I don't sing very well. Yeah, I can hold a tune by myself, but not to an audience. I was gonna do some videos with a Darth Vader mask, which might happen one of these days soon. It's kind of funny though, it's just a Halloween mask. Uh-oh. See, I'm running out of studs, and I'm wondering if I'm supposed to put them in every hole, so this is what I mean by pay attention to what you're doing. And, of course, that is the case. There are two that weren't supposed to go in. But that's me not paying attention. And that's where they're not supposed to go in, right there. So, when that happens, it's not the end of the world, especially these little studs. Just take a axle piece, just pop them back out. That's the best way to pull these out, actually. Try to pull them out with your fingernails. You have a chance of breaking them or your fingernail. So just push them through with a stud or an axle. Okay, so all the studs are in there, supposed to be in. Okay, it looks like a giant Ferris wheel so far, huh? Alright, and we got those. There's actually 40 of those that go into this ring. Whoa. As you can see, they're all around except for the parts with the red. It doesn't call for that. Alright, now for these. I call these flat 2x6s. And they go on the studs. And this is what I consider a flat 2x6. Let's see if I can get it there. That's a flat 2x6, only because it's 2 wide by 6 long and it's flat. Now if I had holes in it, I'd call it a flat 2x6 with holes in the middle. Or holes all over, depending on whatever kind of piece it is. Alright, sorry I had to get a drink of tea. I love tea. Alright, I'm not going to talk on this part because I have got to concentrate. Okay, they alternate, well, sort of, kind of. And they go in the center holes, as you can see in the diagram. So to get this right, I'm going to take my time and make sure I got this right. That's the number one thing. Like I said, if you don't get these right, you might not find out for a couple steps down the way, and you'll wind up taking apart Legos just to find out where you made your mistake, and that is timely and it's hard to recover from. Okay, so we got like this so far. I don't know how well you can see that in the camera. There we go. That is the skin, as I call it. That's exactly what those studs do. And it's the opposite on the bottom side. So I'm going to start with the middle so I don't get lost where I am. It goes like that. It goes like this. Up. I am trying to be in a hurry, which I shouldn't be. Because hurrying up and taking shortcuts never work. It tends to take longer to fix your mess up that way. So there we go. That's what I got so far. Okay. So I'm flip the page. And this is where the blue. Let's see if we can come up with a name for these. And they take quite a few of them. I might as well pull all the rest out. Put my little Dixie cup over there. Okay. These, I'm not sure exactly how to classify them. Normally, for me, they'd be a flat 4x6. Flat 4x6 with a flat center, or a shiny flat center, I guess I could categorize it. Yeah, it's got the studs around the outside, and it's flat and shiny on the inside, so that only makes sense, right? Okay. Now these go the opposite way. And I'm sorry, I gotta pull this off camera to do it. And I just want to make sure I'm getting it right, because everything got to go together the correct way. Plus, I don't want anything snapping off and flying off in one direction. Like I said, where I got these being built is limited space. And I really don't want to go searching for a Lego halfway through a video. I have tried these videos before, and unfortunately I didn't have everything separated into different piles, so just the Jedi Starfighter alone took me an hour and a half to build by itself. Alright, here's some of the process. There's some small colored studs that go near the bottom of it, sort of like the light beacons of an airplane. I just got to remember which is the top, which is the bottom, which is like this. And then we're going to get our colored Lego studs. If you play Lego Star Wars on Xbox or PlayStation, this is your money. Yes, I play those games as well. There they are. And these go, excuse me for holding the model away from y'all again, but I don't want to break something off here and I'll go flying. I also tend to repeat myself. There's nothing wrong with repeating yourself as long as it's for a good cause. And even in my trade, I'll tend to talk to myself to make sure I got everything right, like that. Okay, can everybody see that? Let's see. There they are. That's like the lights, I guess, on the ring. When it's floating through space, you don't want to go hitting into that thing, so you gotta have lights on it somehow, I guess. And I just realized while putting this together. Oh, okay, I got it right. I thought I put studs where they weren't supposed to be studs, but I got it right, so no worries. Alright, I get 2 of these, and these go. I'm gonna make sure I got this right. Like I said, sorry I have to aim the thing kind of away from everybody, but these are what hold the model up, believe it or not. 2 little, I'm gonna call them, they're flat 1x8s. One flat by 8 smooths, I guess you could call them. Those right there. We all know what they are if you build Legos. But that is what holds this whole model up, believe it or not. Excuse me. That's it, you know. It's not the most sturdiest Lego they ever built, but that's alright. It's still a cool looking piece. Alright, well, let me see if I can show you the ring here. Get this out of the way. Like I said, sorry I can't see the whole thing. I will fix that in the next video I do. This is like possibly one of my medium sets. I've got some there, the big $600. If you want to buy the Imperial Star Destroyer, it's about $600 in Lego right now. I've got that. That's like the Super Star Destroyer, and I've got another one. It's just a regular Star Destroyer. It's a 6211 model, which you can find both of these up on my website here. The review of them. I do own everything I review. I'm not going to put out a review of something I don't own, because I won't be able to write about it very well. Alright, let me go put that down in a safe spot. Now this is the cross member we're going to be working on. Cross member, this is for where the Jedi Starfighter sits in. So there's only one of these in the whole model. So, and then the two of these, and then two of these. Now I gotta go by the manual this time because I don't want to lose anything here. Alright, now these studs, I'm gonna call them a too long stud, snap stud. I guess I don't know. I'm gonna come up with names for these things periodically. And I'm sorry if I got it wrong. If you wanna email me, you can and tell me I'm wrong. That's fine. I have no problem with that. As long as you know, you can tell me the correct word for it, that's fine. Let's see here. I might have skipped over a step. Yeah, I did. I skipped over two of them, believe it or not. Oh, that's right, because like I said, once you build these things long enough, you can pretty much tell what you skipped. And sometimes I don't. I have a General Grievous model. If you don't get his feet right from the get-go, you got problems. It just doesn't work right if you don't get his feet right. Can't wait to build that one on video. That's going to be the true test of my video capabilities, really. See, now he's very, very wobbly. And if you don't get him right from the very, very beginning, it's very hard to take them apart and get it right down the line. Alright, I'm already losing my pieces. There we are. Right. Alright, and I'm just, like I said, I skipped over two parts. I apologize. We'll flip over the page and I'll show you what I skipped, which is not something you kind of want to do unless you've been building for years and you can tell what you messed up on, which is this. That is showing what the Jedi Starfighter sits into, and we are cruising up on 48 minutes. Wow. And I want to thank anybody that sat here for the entire time listening to me talk about these sets. I'm just waiting for someone to pop their head out and see me talking to myself, and I think I've lost my mind. But it's alright. They have never seen me do a video. I don't think they're going to sit there and watch me do a video. But if there's one person out there watching, at least I'm thankful for you being here. Alright, now this is one of those deals where if you don't get it right, you have a tendency to break a piece. So I'm trying to be quick about it, but trying to get it right too. Okay, and there we go. There's that so far. I know you can't see the bottom of the page. I apologize. There, and that's the part that's being done of it. Okay. I'm trying to show every angle. If you really want to see all the pieces and angles and parts and stuff, I do have in my review. I actually have pictures of these sets. So I'm not 100% sure. I know most of my sets I have pictures for every step. I did not put I didn't take pictures of it because I had a website, because at the time I just thought it would be really cool for my computer background to have these pictures. So luckily for me, I took the pictures and I have something to put on my websites now. Alright, there's that. That kind of locks the Lego into place, I believe, if I remember correctly. And like I said, it's been a while since I put these together. Just haven't had the time. Been working so much lately, and so I'm not working right now, so I can't have the time. Okay. Let's see here. I'm trying not to skip any parts because I tend to do that when I rush things. I do live in Titusville, Florida. And if you don't know where Titusville, Florida is, it's right across from NASA, believe it or not. We live roughly about 9 miles away from where they used to launch the space shuttles. I miss the space shuttle program. It used to be really fun to go out down to the river and watch these things take off. They don't do it anymore. I wish they did, but you know, hey, it's all right. I'm glad I got to see what I could while they were still in service. We do still have the Atlas V and the Delta IV takeoff, which is really neat. I was involved with both those launch pads. Did the main electric room in the Atlas V vehicle integration facility, which is very, very fun. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures of that because, well, it's illegal to take pictures while you're out there. Only because they don't want you finding out their secrets, I guess. It's the whole deal with that. And that's fine. I got them in my head. I know what it looks like. Alright. There's 2 of these. I'm sorry it's off camera. I'm just trying to do what I can here. Watching the squirrels come up to the back screen. Watching me do whatever I'm doing, which is interesting to know. Have a squirrel sitting there staring at you. I have, there's 3 cats here at the house. And I'm surprised one of them, who is named Pumpkin, aka Mr. Cat, has not appeared yet. He tends to like to jump up on the desk when I least expect it. Alright, let me get these in. This model is almost done, actually. This is a very small part of the whole part of it. And as you can see, it's getting there. Now, I'm trying not to miss any parts, so let's take a second here and make sure it looks like the picture. Because if it doesn't, I've got problems. Okay, so there we go with that. And take these and these, because the picture isn't very much, you know, you can't really see exactly where the studs come through, but I can tell. I mean, I wish they had made it black where the white is, so you could see exactly where they come through, but they did a pretty good job. I love Lego, the way they design their instructions. I just wish life was that easy. Everything in life was laid out like a Lego manual. Things would be a lot easier. Alright, so these go here. Let's get these in real quick. Sorry if I'm blocking the picture. Alright, these swivel outwards. These are going to have that cut piece I showed you from earlier. Alright, that's pretty much what the picture looks like, huh? Like I said, next time I'll find a way to zoom out. I don't know if I have that capability with this camera. I'll probably just have to set it up farther away from the area I'm working. Alright, let's flip this over. There's those angle pieces. That's what I was talking about. The pieces I had to manufacture back in the day. That seems like forever ago. I had fun though. Oh, CR8. Let me show you. Can you see the mess up? You can kind of see it. This is because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. So it's not alright though, because it's not the end of the world there. Just flip them over, put the right piece in, and you're good to go. Just like that. There we go. That's what it shows in the picture, huh? What do you think? Well, matter of fact, if you aim it up like this, yeah, it's something like that. You get the point. Alright, flip it over. Alrighty, here we go. This is where this connects to this. Yep, there it is again. Let me face it the right direction. Okay, I'll get these two, because these are the pieces that go. Make sure your axle pieces are what you got. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, the very ends of these got a crop. Well, let me see. It's got the part that the actual pin can go through and secure into. Let me see if I can get that on camera. It's not just a hole, it's a part for the axle to go through. I'm sorry I can't see it too well. There we go. The camera has a slight time delay on it, so whenever I'm doing something it wants to make me look weird. It's almost like stop motion from my view, but when the video gets made, then I guess you're able to see it better. Alright, that's one side. There's the other side, like that. I'm not sure if something goes on the ends of those axle pieces, so I tend to try to split the difference. There we go. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to start aiming that camera a different way, I guess, to get the whole picture. Alright, I'm gonna have to try to aim this camera, believe it or not. Bear with me. So we can see the whole thing. Hopefully I don't knock the camera over, or if it, I also don't want it to go out of focus. There we go. That'll give you a better. I got the sun coming behind me, so everything's gonna light up. See that? At least on the camera, it's neat. Instant light, huh? Okay. On with the rest of it. The engines, now, most of the engines are the same. Now let me pull this down out of the way. I aim the camera back down. Okay. See, I'm getting pretty good. Alright, I've got a basket of stuff here. That's the problem with these Legos being outside. They get dirty quick. Unfortunately, I wish there was a way to wash these things better. And I don't have any system down where I can wash Legos with. So bear with the dirty Legos. They're all outside right now. There's just no room in the house for the amount of Legos I have. And my house is not that big. So bear with me. Okay, let me stack these up because I'm gonna be needing those. Dirt everywhere. I'm not a dirty person. I just, like I said, it's hard to store these things when you got so many of them. I got them in plastic bins and they're just everywhere. I'm gonna try to keep everything clean. I just recently moved, so I have nowhere really to permanent to store these at yet. Alright. Excuse me if I go quick about this, but just follow along and you'll get the general idea. Not everything's going to be perfectly squared when you build something like this part of it, but it's okay. It's perfectly fine because after you snap pieces together over top of pieces, everything lines up. Alright. Of all the tedious part of this whole model, I'd say it's probably the engines. I would like to see them come out with a collector's item, or a collector series for this particular Lego set, as it is one of the coolest looking medium-sized Legos I have, I think. Okay, see, I already messed up right off the get-go. This is what I did because I'm trying to rush through things. I didn't realize that one of these, see, this is what happens when you're talking and not paying attention half the time. That part does not go in there. It's actually this part, which is that part. Because a regular one of these studs will not go into that. Of course not. The round peg does not go in plus hole. The plus, what is cross hole, whatever you want to call it. Alright. Oh, we're getting down to very few parts, which is a good sign. That means we're almost done. On an hour and 2 minutes, which I kind of thought would take a little bit longer, but whoever has the patience to sit there and watch me build the Star Destroyer is in for a real treat. I think that's when I'll get some music going and make it into a mini-series type deal. There we go. Running out of daylight, and my little lamp here is not throwing off the kind of light I would like. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, and there's two of them. So I should have been building the same thing twice, which in the very beginning it says 2 times, and I wasn't paying attention. Of course, again, always pay attention to what you're doing so you don't have to go back and do something twice. There's a saying we have in my trade, and I don't know if everybody has this saying somewhere down the line: work smarter, not harder. In other words, you don't have to do it over and over so many times. You know, you just want to do it right and make sure you're not messing up. So pay attention to what you're doing. I'm going kind of quick on this because there are 6 of these engines. Me and my squeaky chair. It's probably been here now through the video, and I apologize for that. It's just one of those things. I'm going to break out the oil and get it all not squeaky. Alright, where was I? Oh yeah. So I'm building off camera again, but it's just to allow for speed. It smells like someone's got a fireplace fire going. It has been in the 70s and a little bit below that outside here in Central Florida, which is kind of rare, rare for this time. It usually stays pretty warm up until about December, January. We don't get any snow here, so we don't have any clue when it really actually gets cold. And don't get me wrong, Florida don't stay 80 and 90 degrees year round, but it also doesn't stay cold for very long. Cold or very hot for very long, I should say. Alright. And this goes into the square hole, as you can see. And then the blue part. Alright. I am out of cups, so that means everything that's left to build is on the table. Which is a good thing, because that means the build is almost complete. There we go. I gotta do that twice. I've been talking about fiber optics in my sets. This is one of those kind of places I would most likely put it, right there where the engine is. As you can see, the blue disc would light up very nicely with fiber optics. Don't you think? All right, let me recreate that again. Get this. Go through the hole here. Put that back through there. Into the plus. Got one of these. This. And whammo. Another one created. Yay! And these posts on the bottom. A lot of them. And back in the old days, these used to be for all kinds of weird things like tires. There's another one that goes up the other way out of the studs on the top of the brick that was used for propellers and such. I don't know what they use them for nowadays, because everything is changing in the world, even Lego. People are finding new uses for things every day. Alright, these engines go like this. Sure, I got that right. Okay, just like that. Oh, you can't see that on video. Let's see. Let me point up the camera again. I need to hire a cameraman. What do you think? There we go. There are the engines in the model. Okay. By the way, this is the back side. This is where the model is actually going to come and slide into. And there's little studs on the Jedi fighter that line right up with these holes, and it just, I wouldn't say it locks into position, it just holds it better. Alright, let's pull this out of the way because I know what's coming up. Aim the camera back down toward the book. There we go. Alright. Here we go again. More of these. And like I said, sorry if I go quick, but I kind of need to. Running out of daylight. Okay. This goes like that. And This part goes up underneath here like this. Just like that. I know it how it says 4 times, so you know what I'm gonna do, so we ain't watching that 4 times in a row. I'm gonna build that 4 times over and over. So we can make this part of the video go quicker. That's the whole thing about these videos I'm doing. I almost didn't want to do the videos, but my friend David said, you need videos. So I was more worried about people not wanting to sit there and, uh-oh. See, I already have a problem. I don't have a certain Lego piece. That's not good. I hope it didn't get stuck in one of these things. Okay, see, this is the kind of thing I was hoping to avoid. Because of the fact that I'm missing a piece, it's not the end of the world. I will find it in one of the boxes. I'm going to take part of the skin off the outside. I should just take it off the bottom, but that would look weird on camera. It's alright. You got it covered. You're not going to have to find that piece again somewhere in the box. So, not a big deal. Like I said, I've got tons of that stuff everywhere. But for illustrative purposes, I want to do this fairly on the quick side. Alright. See now. Alright. Give me a second here. I'm trying to get all my ducks in a row. And let's do this. Make sure I got the right end. Because each one has to go a certain direction. Alright. We got that. Alright. These go up top. That. And this piece here. Now I've got to look like that. Like that. Alright. Like that. Now see, this is where you got to really look forward in the book and make sure you got this correct, because they're all that same direction, which on the model itself actually might not do. But it says it's being done 4 times the same way, so that's the way it's got to be. All right, get these, bring these into play. Please don't let me mess up. That's what I gotta tell myself. Please don't let me mess up. But I do want to thank everybody for watching the video, even if you stopped it and ran it, which I wouldn't blame anybody for. But as you can see, it is a time-consuming process. This is not anything easy by any means. Try talking to yourself for an hour. I can understand if you were lonely and the person on the earth, you would have to just keep from going crazy. But it's a good thing I don't have any neighbors out back, or they'd probably be looking at me very strange. That's right. I mean, I don't really mind what people think of me. There's far worse things I could be doing in the world. But, I'm just building Legos, talking to y'all. And like I said, this is my first full-length hour-long video. I'm going on an hour and 13 minutes. Can you believe we've been sitting here for an hour and 13 minutes? Building Legos and telling stories about Legos and where I got my starts and where I'm trying to go, and all this direction and all that. It's still fun. I don't mind talking about it. Alright, if you notice a lot of these Legos, a lot of these setup in the Lego is most of the engines in the Star Wars Legos have got this type of configuration, which is good. I mean, it kind of keeps it all the same, and continuity is always a good thing. That way, if you built one, you built 10 of them, and you know how they go together. So you don't, it's hard to mess up the engine part. Alright, I'm getting there. Like I said, I'm sorry if I'm going off camera with some of this stuff, but and I'm doing it only for speed purposes of the video. Alright, there's 4 of those. Oh, here we go. All these are going to go in the front of these. Ugh. I never really timed myself doing this. Very interesting how long it really takes. Alright. And I'm actually building quite fast. Well, if I had a bigger area and more room, I know exactly what I was going to talk about in my end too. But, like I said, I'm just pretty much shooting from the hip. There we go, there's 4 of those. Flip these over, pop those in. There we go. I'll show you what the end product looks like here very shortly. Hey, I'm down to the last pieces. Oh, I'm looking at about an hour and 25-minute video for just the booster ring itself. The Jedi Starfighter took me a half hour. I was going quite fast on that. I had all the pieces that I needed. Alright. There's the 4 engines. As you can see, they're all the same. They're all the same. So, one end's one thing and one end's the other thing. Alright, now we pull this section back over. Okay. And I can see already what I'm missing, but that's alright. At least I got one flick fire missile. I'm missing the other set, but that's alright. Or at least the other one, which will be this. This is their flick fire missile. And there we go. Alright, let's see, let's get this put together. And they all face the same direction, and they all go in the holes that were left over that the other studs did not go into. Alright. Just like that. Whoa, see? Very top heavy. Whatever you do to one side, you gotta make sure you do to the other on this, at least on this model. If not, it will roll right off the table. There we go. Now let me see if I can get the camera set up so you can see this correctly. Let me at least put one of these flick fire missiles in the correct way. I will put it in this side just for that good. Alright, now that is the Jedi Starfighter 7661 build. Let me get the Starfighter out, put up its landing gear. Now I'll show you where it hooks into this actual ring. Trying to get the Lego to cooperate with me. There's the Jedi Starfighter. Here is the booster ring. As you can see, it's quite large. It's large for a medium-sized build. Let me see if I can get this camera oriented so you can see it better. Okay. As you can see, it's quite a nice piece. Okay, now I'm going to aim this up a little bit. Hopefully I don't get my makeshift studio, all the stuff in the background. Right underneath the Jedi Starfighter, there's these pieces right here on the side. That actually slides in to those. So when you put it on the model, you get it right so don't break anything. There it goes. There it goes. And then these lock down over top to hold it in. Just like so. I'll put a flick fire missile into it. And there we go. That is the 7661 Lego. All in its entirety. Let me see if I can pick the camera up and zoom around this so you can see. Let me get into my tea real quick because I've been talking forever. Hour and 20 minutes to build the ring. Okay. There it is. No fancy stop motion video. Give me a second. No fancy stop motion video. And there it is. There's the Jedi Starfighter 7661. Minus one top piece because I didn't have all the pieces. That's right. Hey, if you can get away and make the whole model and only miss one piece, you're not doing too bad. There's a piece that's missing. You see my point there. There it is. It's okay though. And this will sit on my desk as an inspiration for video and what it takes the video. A Lego in the making. Over there in the back corner in that bin is the motorized AT-AT. Yes, motorized. Underneath it's just a collection of odd Legos. Up in these bins up here I got tons of mad. Oh, you can see the wing inside that box of the Imperial shuttle. That's the big bad boy. That's the $600 model. Right inside there I got, that's part of the 6211 Star Destroyer that you can see. Up in there is a whole bunch of separated bags. If you want to separate Legos one time, get your parents to help you. They'll love you. I actually had my own mother help me. And the boxes down there are nothing but Lego. So, with that being said, thanks for watching, and who knows what my next video will be on. I'm thinking possibly maybe another Lego about the same size. But thank you for taking the time to watch my video. And like it says on my website, the galaxy is not the limit, only your imagination is. Thanks for taking the time to take the tour with me on this momentous occasion. You are the first to see live recording of model 7661. No one's done it on YouTube yet. I'm the first to do a full-length feature. Everybody else wants to get creative and use the stop motion. Now you can see what it's really like to build these things live time. Total time per build is roughly 2 hours for that model right there. And like I said, thank you again for staying tuned and take a look around Vader's New Empire. I'm going to have a lot more stuff coming up, a lot more features, and we'll see you on the next video.